This is part 2 of an introduction to internet marketing and how to make money online. Actually, how to just make some money, even if it's a hobby or out of your garage. Hi, Ron here again, and I'll be your host for this video series. What do you think it really takes to make money? Well, first, you have to have something to sell. And second, you need a buyer that wants what you have to sell and is willing to pay for what you're asking for it. If you're asking too much, you might have to wait a while for a buyer to come along. And if you're asking very little for it, they might think it's garbage and it's going to go away anyway. But without these two items, you can't make any money at all. When you listen to this video, please take off your tunnel vision glasses, open your mind, and let your imagination flow. In other words, don't restrict yourself and say, I can't, I don't know how, etc. Just think of the possibilities. Step back and look at things from a different perspective. One thing to be aware of is that when you ask somebody about an idea you have, expect a negative response. Most other people don't really want you to succeed, and that's only because they've not succeeded themselves yet. If you have a great idea and you succeed, it makes them feel bad because they didn't come up with the idea. So if you've got a great idea, then go for it, and don't let anybody else hold you back or talk you out of it. So now let's take a look at the item that you want to sell. More appropriately, what you want to sell is called a product. The product doesn't have to be an actual physical item that you can reach out and touch. The product can even be a service that you provide. Does that mean you have to actually do the work yourself? Of course not. You can outsource a service that you're offering to someone else that will actually do the work for you. But no matter who does the work, the service is still considered a product. Everything else will fall into an actual physical product category. Well, almost anyway. Your product can be something that you can reach out and touch and hold in your hand, or it can be a digitized product. If it's a physical product, you have to have a supply and room to store them. So when the orders come in, you can ship out your product to the customer. Someone also has to manufacture the product. If you're doing it yourself, then you'll be doing all of the work. If you outsource it to someone, then you have the expense of having to pay someone else to do the work for you. There's also a time factor involved, from the time that the work will actually be started until when it will be finished. Then you have to be worried about quality. Not every item will be finished without defects. If the product has a major defect or many minor ones, it may not be acceptable to ship to your customer. Now the work has to start all over and the time delay also begins again. If it takes too long, your customer may get discouraged and may even cancel the order. And if you already have money tied up into the order, you're now left holding the bag, so to speak. So remember, with an actual physical product, you have money tied up in your product supply just sitting there waiting for an order. Then you have the shipping costs of packaging and getting it off to the post office. Now, if the product can be digitized, it makes it so much easier and cheaper to store. Not only that, but you can eliminate the shipping costs if you're not delivering an actual physical item to your customer. If you're selling just a digitized copy, it can be instantly downloaded by your customer. You get your money now, and the customer gets their product now. They don't have to wait 2 to 4 weeks and stand by the mailbox every day, wondering if the package is coming today or tomorrow. The other good thing about digitizing something is that you don't have to have 10,000 copies of whatever it is that you're selling. You only have to have one copy and only need to give access to 10,000 customers. Space for product storage and money tied up in products that are just sitting there can both be a thing of the past. The only space you really need for a digitized copy is space on your hard drive. Now you may ask, what can be digitized? Well, just about anything that you can imagine can be digitized. This doesn't mean that you can take a fan, for example, and digitize it with a resulting working fan. You can digitize the fan and have a representation of the fan in its physical form. When you look at the digitized version of the fan, you can see that it is a fan. If it's a 3D model of the fan, then you could actually have the representation have a fan blade turning. But it's only a representation of the fan, not an actual fan that will blow air in your face. If it can be put on paper or film, then it can be digitized. These are the two forms that you'll most likely be involved with. The more familiar terms that you might be familiar with will be a CD for audio and a DVD for audio and video. For instance, you can take old 8mm film or VHS tape and digitize them. Once you've got them on your computer, you can remove some noise defects in both the audio and the video. You can also do some enhancements to make the audio and video better than even the original was. Two other items that can be easily digitized are text and actual applications. This includes books, short stories, poems, etc. Applications actually perform a function. This can be as simple as a spreadsheet that performs a function like a budget. Generally speaking, once you produce a digital copy of whatever it is, the work's finished. That is, unless you want to make some changes or other improvements. One other type of product is information. This is the information age, and people are very hungry for more and more information. There are many types of information that people want. One such type of information is how-to information. People want to know how to do things. Almost everyone does at least one thing pretty darn good. If you know a way of doing something different than anyone else, or maybe it's just a long-forgotten art or technique, then you have a product to sell, and there's going to be many people wanting to know what you know. These people are going to be willing to pay you to learn from you. Maybe it's not anything specific that you do well. You may be able to do many things that only need to be gathered all into one place. Maybe you can write up some lessons and teach people online how to do something. If you're still at a loss, then you can do the research and gather information on a specific subject. You put all of this information in one place, and people will pay for the convenience. Just think of the frozen dinners that people buy. The bad thing is, the frozen dinners, they're really not that tasty. Yet millions of people will still buy them because they're convenient. But you say, I still don't have a product to sell and can't think of one that people will buy. Well, you don't need a product that you made yourself in order to have one to sell. You can sell someone else's product and get a commission. This is called affiliate marketing. The one big drawback is you're still doing all the work for promoting the product, but you only get 30 to 60% of the sales price. That doesn't sound very good to me. But then again, there are naturally born salespeople out there that can sell a bag of ice to an Eskimo way up in Alaska in the dead cold of winter and make the customer smile and be very happy. I think it makes much more sense to sell a product where you'll receive 100% of the sales price. There are products out there that are made for this type of a situation. They're called rebranding products. These are products that allow you to put your own name on the box. Just think of the local supermarket that has hundreds of products on their shelves with the store name on the box. Do you think the store actually manufactures these items? Of course not. But there's such a large markup in the name brand items that they can purchase the name brand item and have their own name put on the box, sell it at a discount, and make the same profit, if not more. We'll talk a bit more about these types of products in a future video. I will be focusing primarily on digitized products, but the same principles will generally hold true for any physical product. I hope that I again have captured your interest enough for you to watch part 3 of this series. Remember to always read the description of the video, as it'll give you a summary of the contents and other important information. Also take some notes. You can always pause the video so you can write the stuff down. And I'll do my best to put up the next video in the series as fast as I can produce it. Don't forget to bookmark the page, and please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. And remember, go for the gold!